Sure, it's good to be home, isn't it?
What's going on, people? Welcome to episode 4 of the Adapt to Retire show. I got a very special guest today, right? All right, a true superstar, all right? DMV legend, Bowie State alumni. You might have seen him on BET. You might have seen him on what? The
radio station, you know.
Okay.
A few humble jobs with the Mystics. A lot of humble things right now.
Okay. I call him Lewis. Right? I call him Lewis, but everybody knows him as KyleOnTheMic. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? Appreciate you having me, bro.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm glad you're here.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, let's start. Let's start all the way in the beginning. All right, where you from? And talk to me a little bit about your childhood. How was it for you growing up?
Definitely, all right. So I'm from the DMV, but really Cheverly, Maryland, those who know what that is. But PG County, home PG County, and just my lifestyle growing up is then like, I would say like a movie. Like I look at my lifestyle, it's like.
What you mean by a movie?
Just a movie as just like this. It's a lot of like crazy things, but like theatrical like things as well. Like I'd say my life, my motto is like literally life is a movie filled with drama and action.
Okay.
Just mainly off the strength. I really started off with like performing arts, so like acting and theater, all that type of stuff. So I was really just like an outgoing, really extrovert kid, bro. Theater helped me really channel my energy to really like just be in front of crowds and, you know, get off that stage fright and everything. Because when I got started, I did not like being in front of people at all. So really got me started was like having that encouragement to like do a play, be out here and work with different people. And just my childhood has been fun. I, you know, always was wild, getting injured. Like I tell people I have all these scars of like a ball spot on the back of my head. I always got teased on for being a kid. But it's all for me just really being wild and crazy and falling off the monkey bars and just like cutting and busting my head open.
But it came from you trying different things.
Yeah, definitely, with sports and everything.
So let me ask you this, at like what age did it click for you? Like what age were you comfortable in front of people to kind of like just show the world your talents?
I would say going to Suitland High School, because Suitland High School, the crowd at Suitland, that was like high school, I would say, because I did a lot of like theater and hosting there, and anybody knows Suitland. It's definitely interesting. Yeah, it's a rough high school, and like especially being there in theater, they don't mess with you. They don't mess with you, and they feel like this guy's corny or this. They let you know. But when I really took the initiative to really just like face my fears and be in front of the school doing like monologues or being in front of school hosting an event, and the vibe was there, and they really connected with me. I was like, okay, I can see myself kind of doing this and being an entertainer for the rest of my life.
Okay, so let's touch on that a little bit. Tell the people, for the people who are unfamiliar with you, what do you do exactly?
All right, well, I am again KyleOnTheMic. I call myself the Millennial hype man. I'm an entertainer, I'm a host, content creator. So I do a lot of things, but my main thing that's like my niche and what's my calling is an entertainment host.
Okay.
So entertainment thing, whether it's radio, whether it's live, whether it's behind the camera, anything dealing with using my personality to really move several people. And since I'm a millennial, as well, it's my gift.
I think you're selling yourself short, man, because you're also an actor and a singer.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
see, look, and I'm not just hyping you up. You really do these things, and you're doing well. So to me, I see you as like a superstar. I think you're like a mega talent, right? And I think when you talk about it, you should let the people know everything that you do. Even though they know you for being a host, you have those other talents as well.
And sometimes it's always weird because I'm always used to being a person that interviews. Yeah. So now talking about me is kind of like different because
I understand.
So it's like,
humble guy, but at the end of the day, man, just let the people know what you do.
So yeah, definitely acting and theater. So I did, like you said before, start off my base with acting, and that's when I was going to Bowie State University, I majored in theater, but I realized, theater was cool and I can do it, but more my calling was more like media, so interviewing, hosting, more like entertainment news. So that's where I switched my major to communications. But to talk about the different jacks of trades I do, but yeah, singing is definitely one of them. Also dance a little bit too. I remember I was younger, a lot of people were like, I can do a little busted move, I can do a little song, but when I give you hype, I give you hype right now, I'm gonna go ahead and start dancing. But all that stuff, the triple threat, I call myself a triple threat: acting, dancing, singer. All that stuff came into play, especially when I was young, definitely just singing around. My mom actually has videos of each step of my childhood, and it showed like my growth. So when you talk about different things where I found out I knew, it's talk about even when I was in preschool. My first ever play was the Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf. Wow. And I got the leading role, but I was an understudy for one of the Three Little Pigs, and one of my friends who actually was going to play the Big Bad Wolf, which was like a big part at the, in preschool.
Get the blow the house down.
Get the blow the house down. Yeah, see, I'm so he got sick, and I knew all his lines. I was prepared. I was ready. So I feel like actually I say high school, but I think from that moment when I look back at the videos, that's what I knew. I had the whole preschool lit, huffing and puffing, and blowing the house down. And then it's funny, in the background while my mom was recording me, I knew everybody's part. And I feel like in this industry and life, you know, you gotta make sure you know everything because you never know what doors can open for you. Right. But yeah, even when it comes to singing, I was in the choir at church, and some people will be so embarrassed about that. I said, I talked about it, we had our choir days. And after that, it's just little things I just naturally started to do and wasn't afraid to really, like I said, in college, to really exude myself since I wasn't performing arts, to really express that without being like, no, I'm not gonna say it. I dance or I sing, because they'd be so quick to judge or, think something about you, but people want to say things about you all your life, and these just don't care about it.
Right. So when did you get into hosting?
Hosting. So I know I hosted my first event at Suitland High School, but it really kind of trickled into like a more of a big effect when I went into college. Because name KyleOnTheMic, how it all came together was, I'm in my 12th grade year. I was always listening to the Angie and Ange morning show. Okay. So throughout my whole high school career, but I started making Instagram. It's like 2013, 2014, because that's when it was really coming popping for real. Right. And I said, well, what can I name myself? What do I like to do? I hosted my event here at Suitland, KyleOnTheMic. Kyle used to hear Angie Ange, I always like, it must be Angie on the mic. So I'm like, it must be Kyle on the mic. And it's so funny how we'll talk about how I fast forward now, so I was able to explain that to her, working at a radio station, but we'll touch on that. Yeah. But it was definitely in college when I was in BDA, so like a pre-Bulldog Academy program, and I ran as Mr. Freshman, and I used all my acting abilities and everything, and then it was come to like homecoming and different things like that, where they had big events with my class, through like freshman class president, as being Mr. Freshman, I hosted a lot of events, and that's when I knew I had that gift of really connecting with people and moving the whole crowd. And in college, it's thousands of people. Right. So when I went out there and the mic was on, they're like, Kyle the mic, do your thing, Mr. Freshman. It went from, hello y'all, what's up, Bowie State, make some noise, and after that, the rest was history.
Taking off, right? So, all right, we talk about your freshman year, you kind of, get your introduction to like big crowds, right? But your senior year, I believe, was that your senior year? Mr. Bowie?
Yeah, Mr. Bowie, yeah.
So your senior year, you're now Mr. Bowie, so you're literally Mr. Bowie State University. Yes, talk about that experience and some of the cool things you got to do while you were Mr. Bowie.
The blessing thing about Mr. Bowie was when I was a kid, my cousin was Miss Howard University, so I always would be at Howard, and I would always see how when she became Miss Howard University, and I saw the campus kings and queens all over different campuses, because one cousin went to Howard, one cousin went to Bowie, and I always, in my prayer when I was younger, I always would pray and say, Lord, whatever institution, college, HBCU I go to, because it was always HBCU for me, I want to be the king of it. And this is something I always would say in my prayers when I was like middle school.
That's dope.
So that was something in middle school I would say, Lord, I pray, whatever I be, I pray that I'm a campus king, I pray that I become a king of whatever campus I'm at. And then for that to happen at school, my cousin to be there and see everything, that was like a whole full turn experience, like wow, I really manifested that. And I stuck to it at like a young age where I really found out what I really love to do and what my end goal would be was go to college, graduate in 4 years and be Mr. Bowie, and I was able to do all that, and also play at Jamaican Side Fine. I did all that. It happened. I was like, thank you, Jesus. I manifested it, but the experience of being Mr. Bowie was definitely like a dream come true. It definitely was amazing to be like the voice of all the men on campus, because if people don't know the campus kings and queens, Mr. and Mrs. Bowie, or Mr. and Mrs. of any university, you're like the ambassador for like the men and women on campus. But it was a beautiful thing, something I worked hard for, campaigned really hard for, and just to be able to travel, to see like, other HBCU kings and queens from different states, had the opportunity to speak for different like conventions, meet people like El Sharpton. There's a lot of predominantly black people within that position. It was like an amazing thing because I just felt like, okay.
Do you still remember your speech?
Let me think. I know my platform was stand out, so why try to fit in when you were born to stand out? But my speech, you know what, I don't. But it's funny you say that, because iCloud is something scary though, because it brings back a lot of throwback things. You be like, oh, I thought I deleted that. So I was on my laptop, and I actually have my Mr. Bowie speech on my iCloud, and I actually was looking at that, a few days.
Like a recording of you? Or
no, I typed it down. But I do have in one of my iCloud things, my Mr. Freshman performance, but I don't think I have my Mr. Bowie. I do have the performance when I was singing.
Okay.
And I'm gonna post that soon. I actually found it the other day. So I posted that, but I don't remember the speech, but I know it did tie a lot into me just finding myself and like standing out and being authentically me, no matter what anybody has to say about you, because I feel like in life, if you're not, and we're all still finding ourselves, I still find myself more and more to this day, but just finding myself to the point to where I felt comfortable of like, embracing who I was authentically then, that was a beautiful thing, just to know that I could be myself, stand out, and influence others to do as well.
Right, so you're Mr. Bowie State, you graduate college. What was next? What did you transition to from there?
That's always, I say, for any scene, that's a scary thing of what's next.
It is.
When I graduated, I was like, okay, now it's no, administration, it's no like, SGA to really, here's an event, I can help you out with this. It was no like, not saying I didn't have to help, but it's like I wasn't, not hand-fed, but it was like, all that nurturing and stuff, it's gone. It's like the dog that where I'm competing with now the people I look up to.
Right.
So, I tell people it's definitely like a depressing stage for like at least 2 months, because I was like, I'm trying to find out what I want to do. I want to do this in media. I want to work a regular job, but I know right now I want to use my youthfulness and all my energy to really expand KyleOnTheMic.
Right.
So after those 2 months of really just like kind of being like, what's going to be next? I was like, you know what? Nah, man, let's get creative. Let's find different things to keep doing what I was doing while I was in school, but just now for the people in school, but now people who in this real world. And honestly, I was like going out to different events and just, keeping my content on my social media. And then I remember I applied to work for Radio 1.
Okay.
And first I got this direct marketing sales job. And I was just selling like random stuff on the street, like
selling knives.
Not knives. Now the Vector, whatever they were. Hi, your friend has just reached you as a representative. He would love to have you in for an interview. I'm like, you don't even know me.
I could see, I could see you being like a good
I would have sold them knives.
I would see you being a good salesperson.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I started off in direct marketing where we were selling. Unfortunately, it had at the time makeup. And I'm like, what am I selling makeup for? So like, we go in there, no shade to direct marketing, but all that stuff to me is a scam. But it is what it is. Yeah, but what you call, not all of it, but when I was doing it, I knew that makeup was some bullshit. Excuse my language. But what you call it, but when I got there, out of all the vets and everything, I was good. When I first day, I sold out everything. I was beating everybody's sales and marketing. I was like, see, I'm doing good with this, but it isn't my calling. Right. It's showing that I'm good, I'm connecting with people. If I can sell you something and connect with you, I was like, that's cool, but I'm not trying to be growing into be like, selling and being in direct marketing. I want to be KyleOnTheMic. I want to be in front of a crowd and doing everything. So that was kind of depressing, but then I got a call from Radio 1. Literally 2 months after, where I was like, okay, whatever God has planned for me is going to be planned for me. I applied for Radio 1 like a year or something, like my senior year, like ending off that. So I was just like, okay, when it's going to happen, and it happened. And so I got that job as working in promotions. Okay. And so that's where it got started with me in my radio career, with being behind the scenes, putting the blood, sweat, and tears behind the scenes to finally getting recognized, to being on their talent, but of course all this Corona stuff happened, so it's like
it slows you down just a
little taste. But I was a lot of things were opening up for me. I remember I got an audition. My friend told me I auditioned to be working with the Wizards. Okay. So all this stuff is literally happening. And I'm just like, yo, it's crazy how like you can be in this drought and all this stuff happening, but if God has a plan for you and you stay consistent, whatever your craft, that you never know who's watching. Right. So. Like, man, I see what you do on social media. Hey, bro, you should apply to be a part of like the hype team for the Wizards. And I was like, all right, but I want to host. So I remember I applied for that and I get the job now as a host. But my audition was being a host because everybody was dancing and stuff. But like you said, I had that background, all talent, so I was able to do everything. So then I landed that part as being in the 202 crew, or the hype squad, basically, whatever they call it, for the Wizards. And then after that, I was networking with that. And then a few months later, when that season ended, I hosted for the G League NBA. And then the Mystics and all that stuff. It literally, everything happened so organically. It was like a blessing. Like, it literally happened so organically. But
and you put the work in. You started from the ground. And worked your way.
Yes. Yep. And I really started, honestly, while I was in those doubts, I was just getting creative and creating content for myself. Like, okay, right now I'm looking for jobs. And right now no one's reaching out to me, but let me go ahead and create a job and a resume for myself, so when it's time, I have something to present myself with. Yep. So all that stuff worked out. I thought I was working with the news, because my senior year I was interning at Fox 5 and everything. So I was like, I thought, okay, maybe I should go to the news, but I found out news is not my thing.
Wow.
So I don't know. This is sitting there reporting like bad like news, and blue news is blue news and red news, which is good and bad news they call it. And it just wasn't my thing. Like creating stories and stuff. It was just like it was cool, but I knew mine was more entertainment.
Right.
I want to get you hype. I want to interact with you. I don't want to sit here in front of the camera like. Today in Southeast we have Jonathan blah, 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 or today in Southeast we have blah, blah. It was cool, but I was like, I don't want to do this. And that's the beautiful thing about internships. I was able to see what the job was behind the scenes, and before I really got out there to know when I ended school what I would like to do. And I knew it was like entertainment radio or entertainment television or entertainment live crowds and shows. So
You said this a few times. You touched on social media. How important is social media for someone who is, kind of aspires to, be in the media
world platform?
Yeah.
I would say right now in this 21st century, social media is now like the digital resume.
Right.
Because when you think about it, we for job.
Do you think people look at your Instagram somewhat as a resume in a sense?
Definitely. It also depends how you present yourself. Because some people look at it as like, it's my everyday lifestyle. I'm posting anything, I'm doing anything. But if you're making a business page and you're about your business and it's your brand, with media, for my platform, what I do, I think social media is definitely like a digital resume, even if it's a business page or not actually, because you never know who'll be watching. Now people are like recruiting through hashtags or finding people who model, finding somebody who has a look or anything now through not just, you can apply online, you can send a resume in paper and stuff like that, but they look at your social media to see what aspects you have, your engagements,
I'm glad you just said that. Pause for 1 second. You're a model too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
We do a little
forgetting stuff.
Yes, wow. I say it's crazy now being talking about myself because usually I'm like, no.
Alright, continue.
Yeah, but yeah, them all in there. Alright, those moments.
Crazy, man.
All right, but yeah, so it's definitely like you said. Besides sending the resume, people are looking, or scouts are looking all over social media. You just never know, because a lot of my bookings, a lot of my jobs I was able to do through radio was just offering them, saying like, yeah man, I like your energy. I've been checking out your Instagram. Like, it's this thing I do, Millennial discussions I do, and I interviewed a person named Zell, and he's a community activist.
Yeah,
and he was telling me, he said, man, I've been watching you since Bowie. And I was like, damn.
He in tune.
But you never know who's watching, and like the more you grow with that, the more you take it seriously, the opportunities come. But like social media, you can create your own platform. That's how you doing it with this. Yeah. You never know who could be watching. I mean, I like what you're doing, man. I like it. But let's get. We talking about me. Let's get to the drip, the style now. I mean, for my humble bands right now, but you know,
this is not about. This is about you.
Yes.
Talking about what you're doing.
Appreciate it. But yeah, it's definitely like a key thing in this new era, because everything is online, especially with all these jobs ending. Everything's digitally, through live content, through everything through social media, ads, everything.
So before COVID hit, let's talk about some of the things that you were working on. I know you were at the radio stations. Talk about that experience and some of the other things you were doing, like your championship ring.
Yes. Oh yes. Now that was a shocker. Yeah. But let's start with the radio. The championship. I would say I was just getting started. I was, like I said, did all my blood, sweat, and tears, putting the work behind the scenes, in promotions with Radio 1. So I was like, every time at events, I was using those opportunities to like, okay, maybe promotions behind the scenes, but I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna take the extra step and the extra amount of energy to showcase myself. They're putting us in these big positions with concerts and behind backstage with people. I'm gonna do my work, right. But I'm also showing what I'm about as well. And people are like, man, you should be on the radio. I love what you're doing. And people always say how they love what you're doing and you should be here and that, but you don't see no progress. But then like a whole year later, I was like, look, I get my ear check together. Shout out to DJ Freeze for helping me out with that. But we say alum. And I was like, okay,
shout out to DJ Freeze.
Yeah, because what I would do is, I see I put in that work. I would get off, I would work from 9 to 5. And I was like, okay, I know this person comes on. I would sit and watch different people's shows, learn, get a little advice. And I wouldn't leave the station until like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'll be there from 9 a.m. 4 a.m. putting that work in. Literally, because I was hungry and I'm like, I want this. I want to get my ear check. I want to learn the behind the scenes. Because in this industry of media, like it's like you can learn, but radio, it's not like you sit there and it's like, okay, you're gonna be in the radio. Now let's teach you and train you. Nah. When it's that moment, it's that moment.
You gotta take advantage of it.
Yes, and you gotta work the board. Like I'm engineering my own show. Wow. So it's not like no one's there. Like it's not like I'm the big talent where I have somebody producing my show for me. It's like no. I watch all the people behind the scenes, everything, everybody. So the moment happened where I sent in my ear check and later I was at my house and I get a text from a friend who works at the station like, yeah, this Sunday you're on.
That quick.
I'm like, wait, what? Like,
Quick.
that quick to begin, like literally it was the beginning of this year, like January, February, like let's say, well, December, January, February, I was on. So I was like, okay. I was like, all right, so okay, so I'm glad I put in the work in and learned the stuff. So I was able to get on the radio. So every Sunday I had the Hype Man show with KyleOnTheMic, where I was on from the humble hours from 10 to 2 a.m. And that, that's like the night hours where no one be on. But let me tell you something, the nightlife, I had it lit.
Rocked it.
I had it lit, and literally when COVID hit, and unfortunately since my contract was under promotions and not under programming. I had to since promotions was furloughed, I couldn't be at the station.
See, but the thing is, like we talked about before, well, you actually touched on it, timing. It's in God's timing. You know what I'm saying? So don't even stress about that. When things clear up, we'll be right back with you.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm putting the work now, because you never know who's watching this creating content. Because the Millennial discussion I did on my page, I used to do that on my show. And I was like, when they took it away, I was like, well, the grind don't stop. Grind don't stop. But then being on to the Mystics, I know this season, of course, I would love to have been in the arena getting them hyped, especially coming off the championship season.
They should have took you to the bubble.
I know! They took the DJ, excuse me, DJ Free, I mean, not DJ Free, DJ Heat, she was down there representing, but yes, I wanted to go, but of course, right now, all the traveling ain't gonna have everybody there. The main focus is the players.
Right.
But we did some content, on social media to get that going, but the main thing that really had me felt proud that even though all this is stopped, that I felt like I was I felt worth something. And when we got the championship rings, I remember they said yes, the rings are in. I mean they had us get our finger size, and we went up to Capital One Arena. I'm like Kyle Jones. They're like yes. They gave me my ring. I checked it out. I mean my name is everything is on it. And I was like, dang,
nice.
Yes. I was like and this is history. Because they never won a championship to the year I hosted. So it was my first year hosting ever for the WNBA, and my first year we got a championship in the ring.
So you're basically the reason.
You know what? I feel like I was part of that lucky charm. All of us together, DC did it. It takes a team, it takes a village. But I'm like, I brought that energy, and they kept that same energy.
Yeah, and DC, they've been struggling.
Sports-wise. I know the Capitals had it the year before, and then the Nationals did it, and then, the Wizards, we gonna pray for the Wizards. And then the Mystics, I was like, all right, DC, we coming together. So we're gonna see what happens after all this stuff, but it was definitely a proud moment for that to happen. Like you said, God's timing. All that happened in perfect timing. I'm still connected and reach out and make sure how everybody's doing. And I just hope they see the potential I'm doing on social media, keep my energy and engagement up to let them know, if something happens, we wanna hire this guy. Because let me tell you, this year was supposed to be my year.
It's still gonna be.
It is.
Still more time.
It is. And the thing is, I don't let that get to my head, because I said I find things to do to keep my mind off of things, because it's natural to get I have those days. I'm human. Nothing's perfect. Nothing's all I have those days where I'm just I'm in my head. But what keeps me going, it's just my drive, where I want to be at, and just know I have content, and I'm basically working for myself, because it's, you already know, filming, getting all that stuff, it's not easy, it's a job, and they see the finished product, but they don't see the work that goes behind it. But I'm one editing my videos, directing it, setting up different content. I'm doing that myself, so it's actually, this quarantine is a blessing in disguise, because it actually has a time where I can take a break, really find myself mentally, get my life together, also learn different jacks and trades that I thought I really would never do that I did before, but I'm able to dive right deep into it. I'm able to really find my niche when it comes to interviewing. Before I was always, like you said, this communications, it's different things. Like I said, it's room for everybody, but I was always used to live events and hosting and interacting with crowds, but having that intimate one-on-one session, I had to work on that, especially being in radio interviews. I know my first person I was really able to interview a celebrity was Richard Kelly on my show. And that was cool. And I knew when I did it, it was kind of I was excited. Wasn't nervous, but I was kind of a little nervous, because it was okay, I gotta this interview, I gotta edit it, so it got me in to get tapping into all different jacks and trades. But this quarantine is definitely helping me more comfortable with interview questions and one-on-one. So now, I'm telling you, anybody out there watching, and you need somebody out there to, host, correspondent, I'm here. I'm here. So it's definitely been a blessing, get my mind right, my body right, and everything.
So since quarantine has hit, you said you've been working on your mental and your physical. Let's talk about that a little bit. What type of things have you been doing?
Well, we've definitely working out, and I feel like, you know, if I want to get my mind right, I feel like I want to get my body right as well, because being at home and just being in the house and with everything going on, you just navigate to eating a snack this day, then okay, more snacks, and then it adds up. And if I'm not really being physically active, it messes with you, because if you don't feel good, you know, it shows in your aura as well. And I felt like, you know, I was seeing myself in the mirror, trying clothes. I'm like, yo, I'm kind of getting skinny fat. So I was like, all right, it's time to work out. So one of my friends, she would be working out, and I always be bluffing. I'd be like, how come? Like, I can't, I'm busy, or I can't do it today. And I was like, nah, I need to make time to get my mind and my physical together. And I literally just been started working out. And I'm telling you, that journey so far, I've been consistent every single day, literally since April. And I've barely seen, like, with the pictures I post on my social media, like, I had a gut, and it's funny, like, before you feel like I'm already slim and I'm cool, but I was like, I was really big, and no one was saying nothing to me. And they're like, oh, you look fine. I'm like, and then you post a picture.
Well, you know your own body.
Yes, and you know you better than anybody else. So actually, my workout journey has definitely been good. It's really shown me a lot of things I can do that I probably thought I would never do, like, you know, different HIIT workouts and doing several push-ups at a time, because Lord knows before the old kind of push-ups were just a good little 10 and call it a day, you know, so I had to, but that's fine. But
I actually ran into you.
Yes, I ran into you too. I was like, I was outside, we were working out, and I was like, oh, so everybody's on this workout journey. So I think it's a good thing to do as well, because it also motivates others to work out. So seeing when I saw you working out and seeing your results and how you getting, so I'm like, yep, I'm right behind him. Yeah. I'm getting there right behind him, and so I'm getting more into the gym lifting, because I never lifted, never did anything lifting wise until now.
So when you were out there, we saw each other at the stadium. Who were you out there working out with?
So I was out there with my friend Regina, who's my coworker from the station, and my other friend China. Okay. So they do a lot of workouts, and Regina was really great with me with shredding fat. So we did like jogging and cardio, and she did try to do her personal training stuff as well. And then China, I would always see her when I was trying to go to the gym, when quarantine, everything wasn't happening, when we were free. I would always see her in the gym, and she does like HIIT workouts, you know, a lot in the gym. And I'm like, I can't keep up with her, like, that's crazy. Now I'm working out with her. I met her, saw her outside. We were jogging around the stadium, and the power of just connecting with people. I was like, China, this is Regina, this is China. We should all work out. I'm like, okay, I don't care. And ever since then, we just collab. And I've been following their things. Regina's been helping me with the cardio and doing outside workouts, and China's been helping me a lot with the inside. And it's good, because China, I was like, okay, China, you really lifting like you one of the fellas right now. But like, they both doing their things. So shout out to Regina and China for really helping me out with this journey.
And you feel like it's making you...
Definitely, I feel like I'm back in my energy. I feel like I'm back in my college, like early college days, when I was really out there, youthful Kyle. And I'm still young. I'm not old at all. Right. But my energy, I had it then, especially when I was, you know, after college. But I could tell some performances in some shows, I was like, I got tired easily.
And winded.
Yeah, but now I got it back, so I'm ready. I'm ready for 2021. I got the energy, and I feel like amazing. I feel more at one of my body.
All right, so we talked about manifestation a little bit earlier. What's the end goal for you? Like, in, let's say, 10 years, 15 years, what does a typical day for KyleOnTheMic look like?
A typical day for KyleOnTheMic in 10 years. Well, my manifestation, I'm manifesting. My goal is to literally be a household name, where literally I'm getting booked, hosting big platform events with big platform companies and big movies and stuff, for literally being myself. So expanding my brand, my name, KyleOnTheMic, where everyone knows that. And this is how you see Terrence J, Steve Harvey, different amazing men out here getting booked for, like, you know, fashion shows like Victoria's Secrets or like the Miss Americas, to having my own show on not even BET, let's do BET or ABC or these big networks, you know, being in a movie, in theaters, going out. So I would say in 10 year typical day is, you know, I'm waking up early in the morning, get my early workout in. After that, I'm getting a call, we have a meeting, you know, getting stuff to get ready for a show, or flying out somewhere to get ready, filming for a movie, or getting something ready for whatever content I'm doing at the time. Filming that, you know, going back to my nice, you know, humble little mansion, little place.
Humble mansion.
Humble mansion, everything humble. Everything in my humble mansion, you know, live my life, and actually the people I look up to don't be my peers. Be my peers, where we're going out, like, oh, what's going on tonight? Oh, we at the Grammys? Oh, we at the Billboard Awards? Oh, we that? So it's a natural life where I'm literally going to award shows, and the next day we out here working.
That's dope, man.
And it's just been a beautiful thing, just having that opportunity I was able to have was being working the Tyler Perry opening in Atlanta,
Right.
and literally seeing everyone that I kind of looked up to,
Yeah.
like how we're here,
Yeah.
like that. It was, I tell you, it was like a mind-blowing experience. I'm literally like this, walking with Beyonce,
Wow.
Jay-Z, like
Wow.
Kelly and Michelle.
Wow.
You know, I'm like,
Some big names.
everybody know I love it. So Beyonce, it don't matter what it is. But it was like big names, and it's just like, you know, it was just weird to be in a room. I wasn't supposed to be there, but God made a way, because I was down there, and I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm here. I'm around these people. I have to get there. I have to find a way. You know, I found a way to get in, and just to be there, like, it's like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett right here talking and joking, to Diddy out here, you know, showing off, to, you know, because I was assisting Patti LaBelle, so I found a way to assist her, and that was, you know, being with Patti LaBelle, that's like the godmother, that's like the legend. So everybody navigates to her, so it's like Beyonce and her having a conversation, Beyonce, you know, I'm talking,
And you're just standing there.
I'm just standing there, and I remember Patty was like, "Kyle, take a picture." And it's like Patty and how we look at this camera, and the camera's looking at us. It's like Beyonce and Patty just looking at me. I'm over here shaking. So there's a few blurry pictures. I was like, "All right, we get together." But one thing about me is, no matter how starstruck people may get when it's time to work, and I'm in that platform, it wasn't like fanboy. It was like, "Let's work. How you doing? Nice to meet you. Here, this way." Escorting Jay-Z, like, "Jay, this way. Y'all enjoy." He's like, "Thank you, man." I was like, "Yeah, all right, Jay." To Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson is like your uncle. Right. You know, you had that one uncle that we say anything. I remember like Mary J. Blige was performing, and I'm just standing there. He's like, you gonna move the hell out the way? I was like, "Oh, my bad, Samuel L. I know what to call him." I was like, "My bad, man." He's like, "I'm just joking with you, but no, for real, move out the way." It was like, but this been around all those people joking with Maxwell about being a Gemini, but this all that stuff. I don't let none of this sit in my head because I'm still on my journey. Right. But that just let me know I'm manifesting now. Right. How I was just in that natural norm with them on a natural level. It's gonna be me in 10 years with a lot of my peers and a lot of people that I looked up to, just working with them.
Were you able to network at that event?
I was slightly, but since, you know, as you're working, it's like people are watching. So say like,
you don't want to do too much.
I don't want to do too much, and that's why some people I tell, like, when you're around, they're like, you meet all these celebrities and everything, and it's all a blessing. I tell people, like I said, don't let it get to your head, don't get big headed, because you can get humbled real quick as you see what's happening right now. But not able to network with like different people like behind the scenes. And one thing I did learn was you can be around a lot of these celebrities and everything, but really the people who are in their team behind the scenes are those you need to get in contact and network with. Right. Like it's just like amazing. But like, of course, like I talked to some people. Like, you know, hey, yeah, I do this and that. Like Beyonce's cousin, I talked to her, give her my card. I was like, come on. Angie Benice, I'm like, yeah, because we was joking off the net, because her mom, Beyonce's mom, was taking pictures on the carpet. I was escorting her, and Angie, you know, her cousin, her name was Angie. Was just the background. I said, you just get used to shit. I was chilling, you know. But I was like, yeah, but here's my card, you know, I do this on the slick. I was like, all right, back at work, because I'm here when I walk in. I'm not trying to get in trouble, but stuff like that is just humbling.
Is that your top moment as far as, you know, being in the media space so far?
I would say that's definitely probably one of the top moments, because even from that, and I feel like everything's a big moment too, but that was something that definitely had like got me like, you know what?
Opened your eyes.
Opened my eyes. Like when I tell you everyone was there, from politicians, like I'm talking to Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, at the dinner table. He's like, yeah, great to be here. Me and Hillary, being here in Atlanta. I was like, yeah. I'm like, yes, sir. But like one thing, when I'm in my mode, I'm not cracking the pressure.
You did something with BET as well, right?
Yeah. So I also did things with the BET Awards. I was able to go out there and work as a red carpet escort, talent escorting the talent on the carpet, and that actually got me into like, you know, a different phase of my life, because, you know, something else I could do press escort. I feel like I could do PR if I wanted to, because I was really talking with them, assisting them, explaining to them, and talking to different outlets. So say you're a celebrity, I would make sure I go down, if it's the Shade Room or E-News, like, okay, facilitating that. Talk to the artist, what questions do you want to answer, what questions you don't want to answer. So that got me like in my PR bag a little bit. Then also be able to be like a photo runner inside the award show, to be able to be in there with Getty Images and stuff like that. That was cool. So I don't work for BET, but people think I don't work for BET, but I had the opportunity to work with them that time. But that was, all those experiences are humbling, but I think the Tyler Perry experience was definitely like one, like the major things. And I've also done a lot of humbling things on the side as well, like, you know, hosting a championship game. You know, we won the championship for the Mystics here.
Yeah.
So hosting that, you know, even people don't know, I hosted Dionne Warwick's concert one time.
Wow.
Yeah, so I say that's something that's kind of legendary for me. Yeah. So they'll say, what young person
How was that?
It was interesting now, because Dionne Warwick's music at the time, like, you know, slow jam, but it was cool. It actually helped me become more diverse in my hosting as well. So I could do a fashion show. I could do ballroom shows, which is, you know, the little Vogue stuff. I can go from that to, you know, a step show. I can go from that to, like, a Dionne Warwick concert where it's not just your, you know how you get throughout each performance, we have a little turn music after hers. It's just like, and it's like just having that personal conversation. So it helped me really be diverse, from doing high school events, from kid events to, you know, ball to, like, you know, professional suit and tie. So I'm learning in life the different versions of and different ways you make yourself more diverse as a host to put me on that next level to make me different from the others. Okay. So I'm not just like your typical concert hype man host. I can get you hype in a good way, get you hype in all different aspects. So that's been a blessing too. But Dionne Warwick one, it was really cool. It was cool. I met like Peebo Bryson and all the people and everything. It was cool. I was like, all right, hey y'all.
So you mentioned Terrence J and Steve Harvey. Who are some guys that you kind of, or women, that you kind of like model yourself after, or you kind of like use as inspiration? Or somebody that you aspire to be like within the media space? You
know, it's weird. I feel like growing up, like when you always have people look up to, so I did, like, I always watch One in the Park, and so I can see myself in there. So it was Terrence and all these people you definitely admire. But right now, it's really like, it's not like no one I look forward to be, because I inspire myself literally just being me and like myself. So I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to, like, I want to go be exactly like this person. I look at that person. They're motivated, but right now it's really like no one like I like look up to what I want to do, but it's just like, you know, this is like motivation. So those are like, I see things like motivations. Like, honestly, it's weird, like even concerts and stuff is motivation for me. Because I tell people I don't host, I entertain. Right. So I'm not just going to be up there and host, I want to entertain you as well. So a lot of my motivation is just like live music. It's not like certain artists. Of course, artists like you have like the Jay-Z's, the Beyoncé's, the Ushers, the big platform, Michael Jackson's, the Prince. I'm like a lot of old school artists too, because I feel like back in the day, that's when the real talent and the real shows and creativity came to life, where a lot of things are now more easy, where you could be in front of a green screen. It's all about the digital, that makes it look cool as well. But I think my motivation, what keeps me going, is music, live events, watching shows and watching different people. But like no one really, right now, I would say that I look up to. Okay. If that makes sense.
No, that's so it sounds like your plan is to use hosting, and then you want to maybe branch off one day into maybe doing, you know, your own thing as far as acting and singing as well. But have you ever put any thought into actually being an artist? What I mean by that is like putting acting to the forefront, or actually using your voice and being an artist. You know,
it's funny, our brother and certain people like, yo, Kyle, you actually can sing. Like, you should make a song or things. But it's funny. I remember when I was in high school, I had my little iPad. I actually made some songs. I like made the beat and made the song on GarageBand. But I mean, branching out, I have kind of thought about it, but I was like, I could just put it. When it's that time to come, it's a time. I feel like I really want to take everything seriously, and I want to put something out there, and it's like, I feel like every work I put out there, because I know that some people will be putting out this stuff, and it's like, all right, man, you gotta just.
Yeah, but like when you have a talent, and like you, like I said, I think you're super talented. I think you should put it out there. At least try it.
And I feel like I do. I noticed like I sing like on social media. Like, I have little things I'm saying, like what's up for Valentine's Day. I have like videos each year I've sung. And then like little things I did with my friend. But I have thought about it, but that's just something I'm kind of just been like iffy on. But I guess I take that leap of faith.
Yeah, I mean,
just do it.
Right now we're in quarantine. Not really quarantine, but somewhat quarantine. And this is an opportunity for you to, just use your time wisely. Yeah. So while you had a free time, why not just play around with it? Sure. That's just my advice.
No. And look, I take any advice. I don't take it lightly. So I'm like, So I mean, look, y'all. We talk about it here. You never know. If I ever have a single that come out, there's no we talking about it here. All right. We talking about the part of us starting to sing and taking it seriously. If something happens to happen, this probably would have been a spark to it.
So what's next for KyleOnTheMic?
What's next? Right now, honestly, just keeping this brand going, expanding the brand. Like now, my brand's an LLC. Okay. I'm definitely, taking that and taking to a more business venture. Now, so I'm an LLC. I can work with like big companies and nonprofits and things like that now. Since we always say you gotta make sure you get a tax write-off. So maybe the LLC kind of helps with them as well. So honestly, what's next is really just expand the brand, reaching out to different things, auditioning more, and just, you know, when the world opens back up, take it by storm and just be ready for what's to come. So I'm thinking, hopefully, manifesting, we could be doing NBA next.
Okay.
Hopefully doing NBA next, see how that works, and probably more television you may see. You know, we have a lot of things in the works this year. You know, we're gonna let it happen for itself, let the actions speak louder. But definitely more television, definitely try to do things more with hosting with sports and being booked and traveling the world and doing things on a bigger platform and just growing the brand.
Okay. Well, listen, brother, I really appreciate you coming.
I appreciate you having me. I have fun.
Listen, spending some time with me on my show, man. You great energy, man. To me, you're a superstar,
Appreciate
and I hope
that.
you just continue to keep going with everything you're doing. And like I said, man, I appreciate you for coming through.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. It's a wrap.
What's up, you guys? It's your Millennial hype man, Kyle on the mic, and you're tuned into the Adapt or Retire show with Tyree Reed.